This is a 60,000 square foot Butler building with a 4,000 square foot office area. Casey was the site superintendent on the project. He's going to kind of give us a rundown of how we got to where we're at today. What would you say the biggest challenge of coming out of the ground was on this project?
The month of August was a record rain event. There was, I believe, 4 days in August that we didn't actually have a rain delay of some kind. So we were able to overcome that by working the building pad in alternative methods.
In almost every project, the concrete is the critical path. So when it rains like that, it really hurts our end date. So what we have to do throughout the project is make up time. We did that with the building erection, doing that in phases, basically starting the building on the office end, which allowed us to get the roof on over there, which allowed us to free up that scope to get the office framed up and the MEP roughed in there.
In order to do that, we had to make sure we had enough slab poured out in front of our structural steel erection. We poured the slab in 4 different sequences and then erected the steel in 3 different sequences where it was such that there was a continuous flow of construction through to the end.
Casey, tell us about how using a Butler building for this project was a benefit for us.
It was a benefit because Butler played a big part in the design phases early on, and then the precision of Butler's fabrication process allowed us to erect a building very efficiently. Our client, Pierce Aluminum, deals with bulk aluminum and some manufacturing aluminum, and so in that they need these overhead cranes to be able to offload trucks in the building and then to move the raw materials from one place to another. So we included these cranes. Jake Palmisano was more involved with the planning process behind that.
So on the front end of this project, we gave Butler the information and the specs on the cranes, and they were able to implement that into their design for these crane beams. Another big part of this design was making sure that we had clearances on our overhead high lift door racks and our large shop fans. So this was a unique project because the client came to us with an existing facility already in place, and they came to us wanting to build an upgraded facility with the same operational parameters that they already have. So every part of this project was designed and phased and planned according to the client's needs.
We increased their size from their current facility, another 30% larger than what they had, which allows them for additional capacity in the storage of their raw materials and additional floor space for them to operate their fabrication equipment. I'm glad to be finishing the project so that the client can take possession and start operating out of their new facility.
Yeah, it's always a good part of the project when you can turn it over to an owner and they're pleased with how the construction went. There's certainly a lot of excitement within Pierce Aluminum to get into their new facility.